Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you so much for coming by. If you don't already know, I'm just gonna let you know I'm obsessed with crystals, and I like to talk a lot about crystals and what they do and how they can help us and how they make us better and all of the ways that we can utilize them. But I also just really like to look at them and touch them, and I love looking at my own collection. I love looking at other people's collections, and I just thought I would kind of take you around the house today and show you where I have all of my crystals, kind of what I have, just an overview. I have them in pretty much every room of the house. I have them in our bathroom. I don't have any in the guest bathrooms. I have them in the laundry room, I have them in the living room, I have them in the dining room. But most of my crystals are here in my office. This is where I'm at a lot. This is where I do most of my work. This is where I need the most like inspiration with business stuff, but this is also where I spend my meditation time and my quiet time and things like that. So most of them are in here, and then a ton in the bedroom. I do switch them out and move them around sometimes, but where they're at right now is where they've been for at least a month. So I hope you guys enjoy this. For those of you who are already into this, you probably know crystals get a little bit addicting, and I think it's just because they're so beautiful, and when you're exposed to them, you just like gravitate towards them and want them. But then after you start getting them and you start seeing how they actually help you, they actually make you feel better, but also they can maybe help you to act better. And once you start feeling all of those benefits, it gets even more appealing and you want more and more. So I have a nice crystals collection. I'm not gonna lie, I have an order in the mail on the way to me right now. I'm waiting for. I have a mental list of a lot that I want to get at a local shop here, so it's kind of never ending, but what can I say? I just love being surrounded by crystals, and I'm just that crazy crystal lady. I can't help it. So I'm just gonna take you around, show you where things are, maybe explain a little bit. So here we are in my office, and sometimes, so I have them everywhere. Sometimes I leave things on my windowsill in the sun. This is just a piece of orange calcite I have sitting over here. A little bit of organite. I put a piece of black tourmaline and a piece of selenite on both sides of my lock. I don't know why. A little lucky penny. And then this point fell in front of me during a medium reading once, which is cool. So over on my desk I have a lot of stuff. This little organite pyramid I made, I keep on my desk because it's crooked, and so I can't give it to anyone else. A little fairy wand that I have. This is one of my favorite pieces of bloodstone. I just think that huge piece of art is beautiful. My mica and black tourmaline over there, and then this is just a really nice piece of fluorite. I like keeping fluorite on the desk because you know it's good for like memory and focus and concentration. There is a beautiful rainbow. There it is. This is a little piece of etched beryl. Now beryls are things like emeralds, aquamarine, morganite, heliodor. This one's just plain clear etched beryl. I thought it looked like a little castle, so I had to have it, and I love the way it feels. That's a little piece of mookaite, and back in the back is a piece of serpentine from Peru. This is the tiniest little danburite I've ever seen. I had to have it when I saw it. It's the cutest thing. And then this is just a very, very sparkly piece of spirit quartz sitting back here. You can see the sparkle. This is just a piece of jade I have on here. I think I have a couple like good luck stones. This is clear quartz. And I work at my desk a lot, so I keep aventurine and pyrite. This beautiful thing, I'm pretty sure it's blue chalcedony, but I'm not completely sure. I don't know what I bought it as, but that's what it looks like to me.
And this thing just has a giant sparkly cave inside. The entire inside is covered with this druzy. It's so beautiful in there. This is just a piece of tourmalinated quartz. And then over here I keep a little dish of crystals and just things that I play with. This is a Vogel style cut piece of quartz. It's fun to just like twirl around in my hands. And I have a little sacred geometry set I keep over here. Just when I'm sitting over here, I'm always playing with something. So I love having these sitting right here. This is a piece of Mookaite that I love. I really want to make it into a pendant, just like front facing, just like this. I think it's beautiful. This is some Azurite Malachite. This one is Eye Agate. A little piece of copper. I always try to keep Amazonite and Shungite over here because they're good at protecting you from the computer. Another piece of Mookaite that I love. It would make a pretty pendant too. And yeah, I just like to play around with these when I'm sitting over here. This is a piece of green amethyst. Entirely sure what this is, but it reminds me of moss agate because you can kind of like see through it a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. This is a piece of yellow jasper that I tried to wire wrap before I actually watched any tutorials on how to wire wrap. I'm better now. I need to fix that one. Over here on my Buddha, I have some chrysocolla and obsidian that I put onto a necklace. And in this thing, I just have a lot of blue calcite and some rose quartz, and it's all sitting on top of like river stones. This is where I have a lot of grids and kind of like overflow happening around the grid. So this is a piece of blue kyanite. This is one piece of moldavite over here. Oh, this is my favorite piece of tourmalinated quartz I have. I love how big the tourmaline is. It reminds me of Cruella de Vil. I love it. This is just a raw piece of fluorite. All the crystals I have on this shelf over here get moved quite frequently. This is a third eye agate, and I have a couple little ones over here too. These are actually carved out of sardonyx. That's where the color comes from, and then they shape them into these little eyes, and I think they are equal parts creepy and cute. So yeah, I just keep a lot of stuff over here. I love having this little like box to throw things in just because I have so many little things. But this is an easy place where I'm always just like switching things out, and there's a lot of little pieces of fluorite in there. That green one and this one, both fluorite. This is a piece of peacock ore. A little bit of rough sodalite. This is just a piece of milky quartz. That is a dyed agate slice down there, and this is a Shiva Lingam stone that is not in the shape of a lingam, which is cool. This is some raw Amazonite. This is a little druzy geode thing that I got on a trip to Asheville a few years ago. And I keep some selenite in here to keep everything kind of like cleansed and charged. Snowflake obsidian. Madagascan quartz. Some raw rainbow moonstone. A really, really pretty piece of lapis. This is just a really pale piece of amethyst. This is a piece of rough raw emerald, and then this is a piece of tumbled emerald. I really love emeralds. They're super healing, and this over here might be my favorite one. I love the coloring in this. It's just, oh, it's beautiful. And that's a big piece of orange calcite behind there. This is a piece of rhodonite. The smoky citrine point that I am obsessed with. And behind there, I just have a lot of little tumbles. All those little black ones are shungite, and I think this is a carnelian, smoky quartz, and like I said, things just get like overflowed over here. There's no rhyme or reason to why these are on the shelf. It's just like an extra area where I put things. More fluorite. I never noticed I have almost all of my fluorite pieces on this one shelf. That black thing in the front is neumite. There's some little lemurians right there. So over here I have this beautiful piece of petrified wood. You might have seen me talk about this one before. It has just beautiful like crystalline pieces on the side. Black moonstone palmstone. I had to get it because I feel like that shape in it looks like a tree. This is just a rock I found and it's heart shaped, so I had to keep it. My little smoky quartz point. It's got a lot of inclusions in it. This is a little moss agate angel. You can see right through it there. I love moss agate. This is a piece of witch's finger quartz. I love witch's finger. It is so incredibly sparkly. It literally looks like someone decorated this. And there's just so much stuff inside of it. Ugh. Witch's finger is supposed to slow down and expand time. It's interesting. Some red tiger's eye, little piece of calligraphy stone, and yeah, just lots of little random tumbles on this shelf as well. These are some raw pieces of quartz that a customer gave to me. They found on their property in their driveway. I had to buy this because they're connected like a little X. I really like X's. Over here, I have the really like overflow ones. So I just have this little fountain and I replaced most of the rocks with little crystals. And I think it's so cute. I've never actually used it as a fountain, but it's handy. This thing I plan on painting, and right now I have this really nice piece of green calcite, but I'm just gonna keep like shells and random rocks on here. Right now I have my raw malachite over here because I don't like to touch it a lot, but look at that beautiful velvety texture. So this on top, I have a grid centered on it, but then just tons of overflow on the sides. Right up front here, I like to keep this big piece of selenite so I can put things on it to just kind of like charge them and cleanse them. I know the blue kyanite doesn't need it. I just wanted to put it up here. This is a really cool piece of amber that I want to make a pendant out of. I think the shape is really cool. And just random stones over here again. That's spirit quartz on the end, and that's a piece of black chalcedony. It's really good for connecting with nature. Iolite, lapis, iolite lapis, a piece of K2, some turquoise. This is a bigger piece of danbarite, like the one over on my desk. It has a beautiful, beautiful energy. Rutilated quartz, fulgurite, pyrite, a piece of pyritized quartz right there, some neumite, and then I just have all of these points coming out. There's green aventurine in there. This is a piece of gold apatite. Gorgeous. And that's a natural citrine, some herkimers beside the green aventurine on the sides. So I have a big piece of fluorite in the middle, and this used to live on my desk, but I didn't want it to fade. It was getting a lot of light over there, so I moved it. And then this is like black tourmaline sticks coming off. Over here I made like a little love section of the grid. So I have some garnet, which good for manifesting anything, but it's also great for love. And then I have the rose quartz, pink calcite, sunstone, and rhodochrosite. This is a piece of orange kyanite, really pretty. And then this is just one of my lemurians at the end here, pointing into all these stones. This is a piece of azamar, blue kyanite, hematite, just lots of little random stones. They just end up over here. So up by my plants, I have this tree that a wonderful friend made me. She made it out of lapis, and I can't even imagine how long this took. Every time I look at it, I just get so happy. And I love that it makes me think of her. So this is beside my bed, and this is just what's living here right now. This is a big piece of green calcite, very soothing and calming. This is a Selenite lamp. This is what it looks like on. I don't leave it on a lot. I'm not crazy about the light temperature, but I love the sphere. This is a Shiva Lingam. I am planning on getting a bigger one soon, I think. I love Shiva Lingams. This is another piece of serpentine from Peru. This is a piece of Bahia Jasper. I love the colors in this thing, and the shape is just like perfect to just like cling onto with my hand. I love it. Some Labradorite, a piece of Moldavite. Moldavite's kind of spread throughout the house. There's a little piece of selenite, and then this big piece I actually sleep with sometimes. I know that sounds uncomfortable, but it's actually amazing. You should try it. This is a piece of emerald I keep by the bed. This is a point of lithium quartz. This is a little chunk of black tourmaline. This is actually a candle holder, but it's made of rose quartz. And then on the other side of the Shiva Lingam, that's a giant rose quartz over there too. This is pink calcite, and then this is Chinese jade. I keep it here to help me dream and to help me sleep. Over in the corner of my window, I have this beautiful etched Selenite Heart. And behind it, I keep a piece of celestite. And I just like keeping them in the corner, and the point kind of faces towards the bed. I think it's soothing. Hi, Holly. On the other side of the bed, I have a piece of green calcite. This is a piece of organite that I made. Oh my gosh, look at Holly when she was little. She looks fake. So cute. Lepidolite, a little piece of rose quartz, and then this is ruby fuchsite. And then this is a huge piece of rose quartz. It's hard to even get on camera because it's really heavy. I'm having a problem holding it with one hand right there. So that lives beside the bed too. In the bathroom, you guys have probably seen all this before. This is my travel grid. I have a whole video explaining this grid. I will link it for you. And then I just keep soothing stones over here. This is a beautiful piece of amethyst. And then up front is the blue calcite. And then this is a piece of pink chalcedony. And all these stones are kind of just left over from when I took a bath. It was actually in a video too. That's pink opal, celestite, ruby fuchsite. This is a tabular quartz with a lot of druzy on it. This is a piece of lepidolite with pink tourmaline. I have a couple pieces of moldavite over here. I have more moldavite than this too. I'm not sure where it's at in the house right now. Another piece of pink tourmaline. It's a little rose quartz. And then this is a piece of petrified wood. In the bedroom, I have another little table with just some rocks that were my dad's, and then other random crystals that I keep just sitting around. This is a little grid I set up underneath the TV in our living room, and then that's another piece of raw quartz a customer gave me. This is another fluorite point, and it looks very different than the other one, but I love these lighter colors just as much. I think it's just gorgeous. Another piece of organite that I made. I have organites everywhere. A little Buddha organite, a little Rasta organite. This is a super sparkly piece of apophyllite. So pretty. And more organite down here. I told you I have organite everywhere. And then just sitting on the table, I have a tiny little amethyst and then a piece of selenite. I think keeping selenite in the main part of your house is so important. It's so cleansing and soothing. And yeah, I have crystals in the laundry room. This is actually the love corner of our house with feng shui. So I have a bunch of love crystals. This is a piece of rhodonite. And this is actually a pink Lemurian. It doesn't look pink next to all these other pink things, but by itself you can tell it's pink. And then some rose quartz, and then a couple pieces of pink organite that I made. And those are my little laundry room crystals. So that's it, guys. This is pretty much my collection, minus jewelry and some things I have in pockets and purses. I really hope you enjoyed all this.